You know, it is fun. Dumb football questions.
Ooh, get them.
Let's do some dumb football questions here on the O-Line Committee podcast.
Yes.
If you guys haven't already, by the way, please click that subscribe button and the like button here on the O-Line Committee YouTube channel if that's where you consume. We also have a line of merchandise for all of your offensive line T-shirt needs, hooded sweatshirts, hats. You can support the O-Line Committee and grab some merch at olinecommittee.com, olinecommittee.com. And you can always hit us up with your dumb football questions in the YouTube comment section. Let's start with the end is the end, 1, 2, 3. How do you feel about having a bad quarterback behind you as an offensive line?
It's a loaded question.
It's really loaded.
I
define bad.
I don't think I ever had a bad quarterback behind me that I would refer to as bad. I had young quarterbacks, right? I had Josh Allen when he was young. He wasn't great, but like you knew he wasn't bad.
I get this
right?
question now.
Like,
yep.
You know what I mean? Like, there's a difference between like having a young quarterback or a developmental guy that's in his way and just being like, this dude sucks. Like, he's just not.
I'm going to go back. Hey, I'm going to go the other way. I had that experience, and I know exactly what this guy's talking about, and I'm not going to name it quarterback, but I have played with quarterbacks that you were like, I'm going to fucking shoot myself, or one of these guys is going to shoot me before I shoot you. How about that? I can't do this. And it's frustrating. It's very frustrating because I think at times these guys think they can create magic, and you're like, listen, stick to the fucking script. Stick to the script, and everything's going to be A-okay, right? Hit 1. If 1's not open, go to 2. And if 2 ain't open, throw it away. But it's like they get in their mind where they're like, well, I think I can create something. And you're like, it's not what your job is. Your job is from 1 to 2.
I can be Patrick Mahomes.
Right. No, don't do that dumb shit. And I couldn't stand it. And there was times where we would go to him and be like, dude, just do what you're supposed to do, okay? And I love these guys to death. Jay, you know what I'm saying. Like, it's hard to criticize your friends sometimes, but in the moment, we weren't afraid to give it to these guys and be like, you're fucking this whole thing up, okay? Like, I had a guy one time that took like a 30-yard sack, and we lost it. Like, we were like, there's no way you just took a 30-yard sack when you could have fucking thrown it out of bounds. You stepped out of bounds. You stepped out of bounds when you could have just thrown it. We were hot. And it was like, what are we doing? Why are we doing this? And you're up there taking punches, and at times you don't feel like anybody's really happy about it, and it just makes it more miserable. And when you're in pain and you're miserable and you're getting more shots at you, it sucks, dude. But that is the one side of the NFL that I don't think anyone talks about. Everyone talks about when it's super happy and we're going to be great and we're come out firing. But you're like, dude, halfway through the season, if things aren't going well, the rest of the season sucks, and it's really, really hard.
I guess I had a rookie quarterback when I was in my 5th year. I can't remember his name. I was in Carolina. I can't remember. It was a rookie quarterback when I was in Carolina.
From where?
I can't even. Dude, I honestly, he was there for like 4 weeks because
I won't say his name. I just want to see.
He was bad, but like I was playing center with the third team, like getting extra reps in at the center position, like because guys were beat up. And I remember this dude like couldn't run practice, like couldn't get the play call in, couldn't take a snap from me. And I can remember just looking at him being like, "You will not get me cut." I was like, "I will not get cut." Because
you will not.
Like, I was like, I refuse to play center with you if you can't take a freaking snap and hand it off to the dude or throw it to the right dude. Like, I will not get cut because of your poor play, right? And I'm a 5th-year vet at this point, right? And I'm just cutting this undrafted free agent rookie out. But I only did it because I knew that's how it works. Like, in the practice, if you don't have a quarterback that can successfully run practice, it makes you look like shit. Like, it does. Like, the whole offense is out of rhythm. Everyone's not working. The ball's not getting out, so you're getting beat late, and then it looks like a sack, or everything's a disaster. People are jumping off sides because he has marbles for mouth, right? Like, all that stuff will go. Like, I can vividly remember, like, grabbing his face mask in the huddle, being like, I will not be sent home because of you. Figure it out. Like, and then, like, literally, I think 4 weeks later, he got cut, and away he went because it was bad.
Goodbye.
So it wasn't, I'm not going to say his name. But is it possible that this quarterback made some starts later on?
Yes.
Okay, I'm just wondering. Okay, because I took this question to mean like
Stop
you guys.
it.
I'm gonna throw just a random name out because it's a famous incident. Remember when Nate Peterman threw like 5 picks in a game?
Yeah.
I
Wasn't it
played with
first
Nate Peterman?
Yeah.
But he
Wasn't
stuck
it first
around for a long
Oakland?
time as a backup, right?
Yeah.
I was with him in Buffalo. I got MRSA on my arm because I blamed Nate Peterman because I had to tackle an interception and I ended up getting MRSA in my arm after it. So I blame Nathan Peterman.
That's a wild accusation, by the way.
It's
Dang.
his fault.
That's
I would have had to make the
wild.
tackle. You
That's
don't
a
throw the
dang all
interception.
day.
You don't throw the interception.
The
I don't have to
MRSA
make a tackle.
accusation
I
fine?
don't get MRSA. So therefore, Nathan Peterman caused me to get MRSA.
Boy, the potentially lethal infection accusation.
Guess
Right?
who's still in the
fine right
league?
there.
Nathan Peterman.
No way.
Yes,
Oh my God.
he is still in the NFL.
Hey man, get your checks. Get your checks while you can.
Got to do
I
it, man.
mean, yeah. Okay, next.
Who was
dumb
the quarterback?
football
Tell me.
question.
I'm not gonna. I'll tell you later.
All right.
You can Google it if you want. It's not that hard to find.
I'll
Phil
text
found
it
it in about 30 seconds, so I'm not going to hang him out there like that.
You're fine.
Okay, Tony Owens. Well, same sort of spirit of the question here. Tony Owens says, "Is there an easier job on the roster than the third string quarterback?"
The long
No.
snapper.
No, fuck that.
That's
Don't you
very,
dare.
Very high.
Don't
pressure,
you dare say that about the long snapper, because we saw on Monday Night Football what happens when your long snapper
Sunday
goes
night.
down.
It was Sunday night.
Night Football.
Yeah.
Listen, the third string quarterback has the cushest job. He is the guy that you see that just doesn't really fucking care that much. He gets the offense. He's down to party. He wants to go meet chicks. He wants to tell all of them that he's a quarterback in the NFL. He's a signal caller. He holds the clipboard. Like, dude, they're fucking funny when you catch them out. They are goobers. And yes, I take none of them serious because I don't know. Like they look like 12-year-olds to me. Like, because they were just always like the guys that you got yelled at by the defensive scout team. They got yelled at by the offensive coach for not making like the problem was you would put these guys in a non-win situation. Jeremiah talked about it last week. They would draw up cards that you were like, there's no way that they're going to do this, right? And
Yeah.
sometimes the quarterbacks would be smart enough to be like, well, they're not going to do this. And they'd be like, fucking care, run it. Well, the offensive coach would turn around just as it was getting run, and he'd be like, we don't do that. What the fuck is this? And all of a sudden
every
he'd be
time.
like this. Well, coach, that's what they're gonna do. The fuck they are. What do you think? They're fucking stupid. And the quarterback would be like, I wanted to. And he'd be like, why didn't you go out and kill it? I wanted to. They told me not to. What do you have a fucking balls or not,
Dude,
pussy? And he'd be like,
Matt Barkley lived in that world so
Yeah, dude.
badly in Buffalo. Like the card would be like, throw it right here. He's like, are you
They're
showing
not
them
gonna
the
do
card?
that.
Like, are you showing them the card too? Because then he'd go to like throw it there. There'd be like the safety,
four
the
guys.
corner, like
Four guys would just
and so like, and then. But if he like dumped it off in the flat where there'd be no one, they'd be like, they
80
throw it
yard
to
out.
the post. He's like, there's no one covering him, right? And then he'd throw a pick, and then we'd have a like after practice, be like, man, the quarterback's got to work on turning the ball over. We can't be giving the ball away like that. And Matt would just be like, what do you want me to do, man? Like the backup quarterback, the scout team quarterback has to like, you're fighting for your job. Right, because you can't look so bad that they're going to be like, we can't have this guy on our team. But at the same time, you have to give the defense the look that they want, or the defensive coaches are just going to murder you.
fucking
Like they're just going to
mercilessly
murder you.
you.
Like, Boone's
Oh.
right. The backup quarterback or the third string quarterback that runs the scout team is in an absolute no win because you're trying to impress to keep your job, but also not piss everyone off. It's not a fun place to be during the week. But yeah, come game day, they got a mouthful of seeds and hanging out with a clipboard.
Good luck. Good luck.
Yeah.
They'll come over and turn their hat backwards and show the iPad, like, "Hey, did you see this right over there? Get the fuck away from me!" Like,
They're always kind of. There's like a moment of high tension with 3 minutes to go in the fourth quarter, and you always see the third string quarterback with the earpiece
headset.
in, and
Yeah,
some
the
seeds
earpiece.
just kind of lingering nearby. As,
Yeah.
It's funny. They're funny guys. It was basically what Taylor Heineke when we were here.
Yeah, it was Heineke.
Taylor was the man. We used to see him out and shit, and I'd be like, is that Taylor? But Taylor always looked so young to me, and I felt so old here all the time. And it was, I don't know. They do live a cush life, though, man. I'll tell you what.
I had Derek Anderson.
DA?
Old DA. Dude,
I've heard
couldn't
some
tell him-
stories about
Couldn't tell
DA.
him nothing.
No.
Nothing, dude.
Not a fuck was given.
The O-line or the defensive coach would try and yell at him. He'd be like, I'm in year 16. I'll put the ball wherever the hell I want to put the ball, right? They'd be like,
Yeah.
come on, DA, give us a look. He'd be like, all right. Then he'd just start shredding. And they'd be like, God. Like, yeah, those dudes, the
Stop
uncuttables,
it.
dude, the vet uncuttable, like old school quarterbacks, like even Sean
Hill.
Sean Hill.
Sean
Like
Hill do
those
it, too.
dudes were just, they've been around, they've seen so much.
I mean,
and, like,
didn't Derek Anderson threw for like 400 yards in a playoff game one time? Didn't
Dude,
you?
DA's the beast. I fucking
he had to
love
go
DA. I
in.
do.
He had to go in against Monday Night Football against the Patriots, and like he tried to scramble and pulled his calf, and we're like, "Golly, dude, how old are you?" Like he was just trying to like roll out of the pocket.
Hey, that reminds me of Sean Hill. The first time we remember when we were here and it was against Tennessee. It was that first game. And the
Tried to
first play,
juke and rolled his ankle.
dude. The first play, he just came out there. He looked over and he looked like he's like, "Hey guys, here we go. You ready?" And you're like, "Oh God, he's old." Here we go. He's like, "Don't make me do much, okay? Here we go. Here we go." Okay, sure thing, bud.
Came off the sideline. He's like, tried to make a juke move, rolled my ankle. I was like, it's the first series.
I forgot that was against
Why are you juking?
that was against Brian Rakpo and what's his nuts and
That's helpful.
no God they're D
Tennessee?
tackle now. Yeah,
He wasn't there yet.
no, there was another guy. Who was it? I can't remember who it was. I remember they ran a twist versus me and Khalil.
Jones? Was it Daquan Jones? Daquan Jones?
And they fucking launched Khalil, and I was like, "We're in for a day." The guy behind us is 45. The guy next to me can barely move. This guy's 45.
Dude, that's the
I'm
game.
like,
That's
You
the
guys
game
won
we won.
that game.
We
You
won the
game.
defense.
I
The
know.
defense scored more points than the offense.
I know.
Yeah.
Like we had
And
the
then
safety. There's a pick
Oh,
six.
so fun.
Like, and I think we only kicked a field goal.
What lies were told that night too? Like everyone's like, "Hey, we can win every game like this. It's okay. It's okay."
we
like,
all got on the plane like, oh my god. Sam,
fine.
you good? Sam, you're gonna be able to start next week, right?
we paid a lot for you, buddy. You better be fucking ready.
Learn the playbook quick, guy.
Yeah.
Learn it quick.
Now.
Okay, Aiden wants to know: do any players ever fake injuries to avoid stuff in the NFL?
Avoid
no.
what?
Well,
I mean,
anything.
I think
Training camp,
DBs
practice.
I think DBs love like, oh, my hamstring whenever they get beat deep.
Oh yeah.
I think that's
yeah.
that's a classic, like, oh, cramp, hamstring, and they like limp to the sideline, and then 3 plays later they just kind of slowly work their way back out onto the field and nobody says anything. I mean, that happens like, and even in practice. Like that
was kind
happens
of
in practice.
Xavier Rhodes was amazing.
Dude, I wasn't gonna say his name until one of
you.
you two did, but Xavier Rhodes every time would be like, and then the next series you'd see him out there like, I'm good. And I remember the first time he got hurt, it was we were playing
All of a
Tennessee,
sudden, oh shit.
and I was like, oh my god, he's down. And Shug's like, don't worry, he'll be back next week. Don't worry. I was like, okay, cool, it's all good. I will say this: there has been some times I'm not gonna ever Jose Canseco anybody ever. There have been some times where the C word was thrown out and it was like, stop it now. Because the minute you start saying that C word, doctors have to pay attention now because so many people have been hurt. And so it was like, and it wasn't so much the players as much as it was the coaches being like, do you have a, and it was like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Shut up. Right? Like, hey, I'm talking to you. I'm asking you about your concussion. And you'd be like, shut up. Doctor's like, I heard it. Who's got it?
Yep.
I heard the C word. Somebody has to come with us in the tent. And instantly it was like, you fucking serious, dude? Shut up. Like, God. But
Yeah.
for the most part, and especially on the offensive line, I don't really care what anyone says. We hold each other to a very higher standard. Like, unless a bone is sticking out or you know something is for sure torn, you're not really allowed to come off the field. Like, your boys are going to call you a pussy when you come back out, or they're going to crush you in the fucking locker room, or they're going to crush you in the meeting room. They're going to be like, dude, you left us all out to dry. It's I'm not going to speak for the receivers and the running backs because I was never really in those rooms, but I know in our room for sure, there was times that guys were really fucked up and we were like, hey, we really need you, buddy. And they were like, all right, I'm there. And there was times that we had to sit guys down and be like, dude, you're not doing good. Like, there was a time here in the Vikings where we were all like, you don't look good, buddy. You're not doing well. And if you don't say something, I'm going to have to, because we all love that guy a lot. Nobody wanted to see him get hurt. Like, the rest of us were like, we will sacrifice ourselves for you, but at the same time, we can't lose you. You're a good dude and a good dad. So for the most part, everybody's really tough. Like, everyone's kind of like, I know we're all hurt. I know we're all banged up. And that's why, that's what I think separates the great coaches from the good coaches, is the ones that are like, I know you guys are really beat up. Let's find another way to learn. Let's find another way to teach. Let's find another way to do movements. Like, Tony was great about doing a lot of walkthroughs towards the end of the year. Like, he'd be like, I know we can't move a lot. We're going to come out here. We're going to walk through. And he's very particular about his walkthroughs. And because it was like, we're not getting this work on the field, we need to come out here and do these walkthroughs because I know you guys are fucking broken. So, but dude, if you ever faked an injury to get out of a game, you'd have been fucking fined to the maximist, the maximist of
What
the stick.
about faking an injury for clock purposes?
That's mostly defense. Those guys are very smart about falling down and being like, dude, one time Justin Smith was like, now, now. The other team's like, don't you see him doing this? Go down now or now.
He just passes out.
That's hilarious. No, those guys do that shit all the time. Yeah.
Oh man,
No
All right,
faking
okay.
injuries, dude. You got to be born
It's good to
tough
know.
here.
It's good to know.
Yeah.
Keep sending us those dumb football questions. We got a
Hey,
bunch in
One
the
more?
hopper here.
One more?
But one more, or
One
else
more?
we have to talk
One
about a mic that I might have for all of us.
Oh, you got a
Bill
mic right now?
Belichick's new girlfriend, the
20
cheerleader. Are we
24-year-old?
not going to fucking talk about this? Are we serious?
Gronk
Well,
knew it at the roast.
dude,
Gronk brought
Zimmer-
it up at the roast.
I apparently I wasn't paying attention because now I'm catching light of it. And I'm like, Jesus Christ! First it's Zimmer, now it's Belichick, dude, insane. The
Hey.
cheerleader.
Okay, what's
the
in it
fuck?
for her?
Clout.
He gets to he'll buy her some stuff and then go on
Hey,
trips to Nantucket or whatever.
Love sees no number, man. There's no
The lights go off. Everything's a 10.
Okay, let's eliminate the number above his head and just look at his head and look at
Okay.
him. What's in it for her?
I mean, he's probably got a bubbly personality. He probably loves the way he makes her feel. Right? Compliments her every morning.
He's super confident.
He's
Oh.
super confident.
Women
right?
like confident men. So
Yeah.
there you go.
Yeah, I mean, that's got to be
Taller.
it, right?
Confidence and humor, I guess. Or
Yeah.
that's the one misnomer.
He makes me laugh.
that Bill.
I don't think Bill's
That
making anybody laugh.
Billy
dude.
makes me laugh. Like,
Bill. He's so serious.
dude, what do you think? Like that group chat with her friends is.
What do you think her dad's saying?
Can I
Her
meet
dad-
him?
Jesus,
Her dad's
Becky.
like, no, you know his dad's like, so you bringing him over for family dinner, or like, when do we get to meet Mr.
So
Belichick?
Her dad. and I don't know if he's alive or dead. Like I don't know, but like he's almost certainly a decade or two younger than Bill Belichick, right? Because
Probably
she's
the
24.
same decade.
He's like 70.
Yeah, I mean,
So
he's probably 50s. He's probably in his 50s
Yeah,
or
you're
high
not kidding.
50s.
Jesus.
So he probably grew up watching Bill. Like, dude, you kidding me? He's probably like, I love that man, or he hates him. Right? There's like one of the two. It's like,
Oh yeah, right.
Like maybe. I mean, but if they came from the Boston area, because she was a cheerleader for the Patriots, right? So maybe he's just like couldn't be happier.
Nah, I
Right?
find that
Already
so weird.
already saving up for the wedding, right? Like he's ready to go.
Okay, if you're a cheerleader though, and you know you've got your eye on everyone associated with the football team, including
That's actually a hard
53
rule.
hulking, brooding players. You guys aren't allowed to date cheerleaders, but the head coach is.
He's
not
no
that
longer a head
anymore.
coach. He's
He's
no
not that
longer a
coach
head
anymore.
coach.
And you, good luck telling Bill, hey, you can't date her. Like, you go tell him, right? Like, he's going to be like, go fuck yourself. I run this team. But at the same time,
Do you
just
think
find
that
it
was the
weird.
same house that he got caught in the ring camera?
I was gonna
Probably.
ask. It
I think it
probably
was. It probably was.
walking out like,
Bill, I have class in 10 minutes. You got to go.
Bill, you got to
got a Zoom link. Got a Zoom link, Bill.
Sure thing, bud.
Yeah, just call an Uber. I'll call you later.
I got to go work on some
on the
defensive
calculator.
I'll send you an email.
So yeah, on to Tuesday. Yeah.
Those are your dumb football questions here. The O-line committee. Click that subscribe button on the YouTube channel.
Please.
We got not much.